Dear students, we'll discuss about Chapter 1 Real Numbers Part 2. In this session, we'll discuss about what is an irrational number. What is an irrational number? Okay, so if a number is of the form p by q and q not equal to 0, p and q are integers. Okay, they are rational number. If it is not in this form, those numbers we can say they are irrational numbers. So any number is not of the form p by q and q not equal to 0. Okay, so if it is not in this form p by q, q not equal to 0 and p and q are co-prime numbers. Okay, if not in this form, those numbers are called irrational numbers. Okay, so how those numbers can be? Okay, if we take root 2, okay, we need to take a square root of 2. Okay, how to take square root? We know very well in the class 8 we have learned how to take the square root of any number. Okay, so if we take square root of 2, first 1 is 1. Okay, so after this we can keep decimal point. How many zeros also we can put, right? Okay, so we need to multiply by 2 and write here 1 2 is 2. Okay, so if we subtract 1 is 1, we'll get remainder 1. After this, each time we have to bring two numbers down. Okay, so it will become 100. So this 1 we need to multiply by 2 and write here. Okay, so what number we need to multiply so that these two product we can able to put here. Okay, so we brought the numbers from the decimal place, so we need to put decimal point here also. Okay, so 100 by 20 times, what number will come? Okay, 7 7s are 49, 7 2s are 14, plus 4 become 18, so it will come close. We'll take 7 times. So what number we are putting there, the same number should be here also. 7 7s are 49 and 7 2s are 14, 14 plus 4 become 18. If we subtract, 10 minus 9 become 1, 9 minus 8 is 1. Okay, so we can bring two numbers like this. Okay, so if we take a square root of 2, it will go 1.732, like this it will go. The number will not stop at any point. Okay, so these numbers are called irrational numbers. Okay, so a number, if it is of the form p by q, those numbers are called rational numbers. If it is not in the form p by q, this we cannot be written in the form p by q. Okay, so these numbers are called irrational numbers. So pi is an irrational number. Okay, pi value is 22 by 7. It is an approximate value only, because 22 by 7 is of the form p by q and q not equal to 0 and p and q should not have any common factor. So it is satisfying all those conditions. So 22 by 7 is a rational number. Okay, but pi is not exactly equal to 22 by 7. Pi is not exactly equal to 22 by 7. It is an approximate value only. So pi is an irrational number, and root 2, root 3, root 5, okay, all these are irrational numbers. If we take root 4, it will become 2. It is a whole number. Okay, so any number is not of the form p by q. Okay, those kind of numbers are called irrational numbers. So including rational number and irrational numbers. Okay, so including rational and irrational together is called real numbers. Okay, so about real numbers only we are going to be discussing about this chapter. So what are real numbers? It is the addition of irrational numbers. So all rational numbers and including irrational numbers, those are called real numbers. Next, we'll discuss about how to represent these irrational numbers on the number line. Okay, we know very well how to represent a natural number on the number line. We know very well how to represent the whole numbers on the number line. We know how to represent integers on the number line. We know very well how to represent a rational number on the number line. Okay, so now, so in between 0 and 1 we'll get 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 is of the form p by q. So 1 by 2 is a rational number. So we know very well how to represent rational numbers on the number line. In this lesson, we'll discuss about how to represent irrational numbers on the number line. So first we'll take a number line. First we'll take number line. Okay, so this is 0, 1, 2. Okay, let me take some numbers. Okay, this is a real number line. So in this real number line, we'll try to represent root 2 on the number line. Okay, so here we'll use Pythagoras theorem. Okay, so from 0 we'll take 1 centimeter. Okay, 0 to 1 it is 1 centimeter. That means 1 unit. So we'll take 1 centimeter itself. So 0 to 1 it is 1 centimeter. Consider it is 1 centimeter. Okay, so at the point of this 1 centimeter, draw one perpendicular line. Okay, over this point, draw one perpendicular line. Okay, so from here, from this 1 unit, okay, draw an arc of 1 centimeter. Draw an arc of 1 centimeter, so that from 0 to 1, this also 1 centimeter. From here to here, this also 1 centimeter arc we have drawn. Okay, so if we join, okay, we are getting one right angled triangle. Okay, if we take this point as A and B, so that OAB is a right angled triangle. Okay, so in triangle OAB, okay, angle at A is a right angle. Okay, so because at the point A we draw one perpendicular, over that perpendicular line we draw an arc of 1 centimeter. So over this perpendicular we are getting a point. That point and this O, if we join, this origin if we join, okay, we are getting a line. Okay, so we'll see, we'll apply Pythagoras theorem here. Okay, we need to find out this length OB. What is this? Well, OB is here nothing but it is the hypotenuse. Why? Because it is opposite side of this right angle. So this is the hypotenuse. So hypotenuse square, OB square equal to OA square plus AB square. Okay, OB is nothing but the hypotenuse. So hypotenuse square equal to OA square. This is 1 centimeter. So OA square is 1 square plus AB square is 1 square. Okay, so H square is 1 square become 1 and this also 1. If we take square root on both sides, okay, so the square and the root will get cancelled. So H equal to root 2. Okay, so this hypotenuse is nothing but it is root 2. Okay, understood why what we have done here? So from O to A it is 1 centimeter. At the point O we made one perpendicular. Okay, over this perpendicular we draw an arc of 1 centimeter. So that OA is 1 centimeter and AB is 1 centimeter and it is a right angle, so that we can use Pythagoras theorem. Okay, so that sum of the square of the adjacent side equal to other two sides equal to hypotenuse side square. So H square equal to 1 square plus 1 square, it will become H is equal to 2. Okay, so this hypotenuse, length of this hypotenuse is 2. That means distance from O to B is 2. Okay, so this distance if we take in the scale and the same length if we mark on this number line. Okay, this distance if we take in our ruler, okay, this distance if we mark on the number line, okay, so approximately we'll get at this area. Okay, so this length if we mark from O, okay, so the same length if we take from O, okay, if we mark here, we will get we will get root 2 on the number line. So like this we can represent root 2 on the number line. Next we'll try to represent root 3 on the number line. Already we have represented root 2 on the number line. Okay, so this is O. The point origin is O, and this is 1 unit. That means this is 1 centimeter. We have considered this point as A. At this point A, we are drawing one perpendicular. Okay, so over this perpendicular, we are drawing 1 centimeter arc. Okay, so O and this intersecting point, if we join, we are getting this as root 2. Okay, so this line if we extend, okay, this is the point A, and this if we mark it as B. So OAB is a right angle triangle, and the length of OB is root 2. This length if we take from the origin and if we mark on the number line, it will come after 1. Okay, it will come approximately in this area. Okay, now from the point B, again we are drawing one perpendicular. Okay, so at this point B, we need to draw an arc. So from here one arc, from here one arc. Okay, so that if we extend, you will get one right angled triangle. From the point B, draw an arc of 1 centimeter. Okay, so at this point, okay, so that means if we take this point as C, okay, so the BC, length of BC is 1 centimeter. Okay, so we'll join to the origin. Okay, what will happen? We are getting one right angled triangle, right angled at B. The triangle OBC and right angled at B, so that we can use Pythagoras theorem here also. And opposite of this right angle is the hypotenuse. So OC is the hypotenuse here. So OC square equal to OB square plus BC square. What will happen? OB square is what? OB is root 2. Okay, so root 2 the whole square plus BC is what? 1 square. Okay, so this root and square will get cancelled. It will become 2 plus 1. What is this? It is OC square. Okay, so OC square is 3. If we take square root on both the sides, this square and root will get cancelled. So OC equal to root 3. That means length of OC is root 3. Okay, so this length if we take and if we draw from the origin, okay, an arc over this point, we will get root 3 in this area. Okay, root 2 will come here, root 3 will come here. Okay, the same way if we extend, okay, at this point if you draw one perpendicular, so that if you draw one perpendicular, okay, and from here if you draw an arc of 1 centimeter and if you join, okay, so that you will get root 4. Okay, from here again if you draw one perpendicular and if you draw 1 centimeter arc over this and if you join this point, we will get root 5. Okay, so this length of root 3 we marked already on the number line. Length of root 4, okay, this length if we take and if we mark from the origin over this, okay, that length if we draw an arc here, the same length if you take in compass, ruler and compass, if you draw an arc from the origin, okay, so it will come root 4 here. What is root 4? It is exactly 2, no? Square root of 4 is 2. Okay, so we'll get 1, 0, 1 and 2. That point 2 is nothing but root 4. Okay, root 4 length also we are getting exactly here. Next we can mark root 5 also. Where root 5 will come? It will come exactly after root 4. Okay, root 5 will come here. Okay, after 2 this root 5 will occur. Okay, and root 6. Okay, from here if you draw one perpendicular, from here if you draw an arc of 1 centimeter, okay, at this point if you join with the origin, okay, we'll get the length of root 6. Okay, so likewise we can complete this thing, and each and every root number we can able to represent on the number line. Root 1, root 2, root 3, root 4, root 5, root 6. Okay, root 1 is nothing but 1. Root 4 is nothing but 2. Okay, root 7, root 8, and root 9 is nothing but 3. Okay, root 9 is nothing but 3 square. 3 square become 3. Square root of 3 square become 3. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3. So in between 1 and 2, we will get 2 irrational numbers. In between 2 and 3, in between root 2 and root 3 also will get more irrational numbers. We have got 2 rational numbers, 2 irrational numbers now in between 1 and 2. We got 2 in between 2 and 3, root 5, root 6, root 7 and root 8. Okay, so that any irrational number, okay, we can able to get in this way. We can complete this square root spiral so that we can able to represent the irrational numbers on the number line. Come to the exercise problems. We have to say true or false. Every irrational number is a real number. Okay, what are irrational numbers? Set of all irrational numbers are 0, 1, 2, minus 1, minus 3, minus 7 by 5. Okay, so all whole number, natural number, integers, okay, and rational numbers, okay, and including root 2, root 3, pi, okay. So because these are all irrational numbers, okay. So here this is a collection of real number, 0, natural number, integers, rational number and irrational number. All these are collection of real numbers, okay. So in this real number we need to identify which are irrational numbers, okay. So irrational numbers are here. So irrational numbers also in the collection of real numbers. So we can say every irrational number is a real number. Okay, so this is true. Every point on the number line is of the form root m, where m is a natural number. So every point on the number line is of the form root m, where m is a natural number. Here the statement is false. Why? Because if we take a number line, this number line if we take a real number line, 0, root 2, okay, 1, root 3, 2, okay, and in between we can take some rational numbers also, okay. So whole numbers, irrational numbers and rational numbers, everything will come under real number line. So if we take every point on the number line is of the form root m. Okay, every point is of the form root m, where m is a natural number. Okay, so if we take root, inside the root if we take m, only we can consider this positive side. Okay, if we want to represent this negative side of rational numbers, okay, suppose minus 1, okay, if we take m is a natural number, okay, that cannot be a real number, okay. So square root of minus 1 become, it is an imaginary number. Square root of 1, square root of 2, square root of 3, here root 2, root 3 are irrational numbers. Root 1 become 1, it is a rational number. Okay, so all rational and irrational collection will be a real number. But if we take square root of minus 1, square root of minus 3, okay, those numbers are called imaginary numbers. Okay, this we will mark it as 1i, 2, 3i. Okay, so these numbers are called imaginary numbers. This imaginary number will learn in the higher classes. Okay, so real number and imaginary number. This collection is called complex numbers. The collection of real numbers and imaginary numbers together is called complex numbers. So about complex numbers we'll learn in the higher classes. Okay. So this root of -1, root of -3, this root of negative numbers will not come. Okay. So this statement is false. So every negative numbers on the number line, but when we take the root of the negative number, it become a complex number. Okay. And those are all not natural numbers. So this statement is false. Next one, every real number is an irrational number. Okay, what are all real numbers? All positive numbers, negative numbers, integers, zero, rational numbers, irrational numbers. Okay, all this collection is called a real number. Okay, in this real number, so every real number is an irrational number is the statement. Is this correct? No. Okay, 0 is not an irrational number. 1 is not an irrational number. So these numbers are not irrational numbers. Okay, these numbers are not irrational. Only some collections are called. Okay, the part of real numbers are irrational numbers. Not every real number is an irrational number. Irrational numbers are not in the form of P by Q. Okay, so those are in the form of P by Q and those are not in the form of P by Q also called real numbers. Real number is the collection of rational number and irrational number. But every real number we cannot say those are irrational numbers. So this statement is false. Next, we'll discuss about second question. Are the square root of all positive integers are irrational? Okay, square root of all positive integers. Suppose square root of 1, square root of 2, square root of 3, square root of 4, square root of 5, square root of 6. If we take, root 1 become 1 itself. Root 2 is root 2, root 3, root 4 we can write as 2, root 5, root 6. Okay, so if we take root 9 become 3. Okay, so every square root of positive integers are irrational. Whether this statement is correct? No. Okay, in this case it is not an irrational number. 1 is not an irrational number. 2 is not an irrational number. 3 is not an irrational number. So square root of every positive, all positive integers are not irrational numbers. Okay, irrational number means they should not be of the form P by Q. Okay, 1 we can write as the form P by Q. 2 we can write as the form P by Q. 3 we can write as the form P by Q. So those are called rational numbers. Okay, they are not irrational numbers. Okay, so every square root of all positive integers are not irrational numbers. Okay, root 1 is 1. It is nothing but 1 by 1. It is of the form P by Q and Q not equal to 0. Okay, so that 1 is a rational number. If we take root 4, it will become 2. 2 we can write as 2 by 1. It is of the form P by Q, Q not equal to 0 and they are copied. So they are rational number. So root 4 become 2. It is a rational number. Okay, root 3 we cannot write like this. If we take root 9, this can be of the form 3. It is of the form 3 by 1, P by Q form. So it is a rational number. Okay, so these are all some examples of numbers which are all not irrational numbers. They are rational numbers. So square root of any positive integers, if we take, not all the positive integers square root become an irrational number, has been proved. Next question. Show that how to represent root 5 on the number line. First we'll take a number line. We have seen how to represent root 5 on the number line already. Okay, we'll discuss this question. Okay, so if we take a number line 0, 1, 2. Okay, we'll take. Okay, so 0 to 1, this is 1 centimeter. Okay, we'll consider this as O and this point as A. At the point A with the distance of 1 centimeter, draw a perpendicular, okay, at this point. From here one arc, from here one arc, if we join we'll get perpendicular. Over this perpendicular, mark 1 centimeter arc over this, okay. So this perpendicular and arc intersecting point will consider as the point B, so that if we join, okay, we are getting one right angled triangle. So this is 1 centimeter, this also 1 centimeter. So sum of the square of the other two sides equal to hypotenuse side square. So 1 square plus 1 square equal to hypotenuse side square, because we can use Pythagoras property here. So triangle OAB and angle A is 90 degree. So that OB square equal to OA square plus AB square. OA square is 1 centimeter, 1 square, plus AB square also 1 centimeter we have taken, 1 square. So 1 square become 1 plus 1 become 2. So OB square is 2, OB become root 2. Okay. So we have seen already how to represent root 2 on the number line. So likewise we can continue and represent root 5 on the number line. So we'll say once again, so we have to extend this and draw an arc. Okay, so from here one point, from here one arc if you draw, so that we can draw one perpendicular. So over this perpendicular, if we draw 1 centimeter arc, and if we join to the origin, we will get, this is root 2 now, this is root 3. Okay, so we'll extend this line. At this point, we'll draw one perpendicular, so that this perpendicular will go. Okay, over this if you draw 1 centimeter arc, and if we join, we will get root 4. Okay, so from here we draw one perpendicular. Okay, so over this if you draw one arc, so that we will get root 5. So this is root 5. Okay, so like this also we can do in another way. Suppose this is 0, this is 1, and this root 2, distance of root 2 we can mark on the number line. It will come after 1. The same distance from O to B is root 2. The length of O to B is root 2. The same length if we take in the compass from O, if we draw an arc over the number line, we can able to represent root 2 on the number line. Okay, so we can able to get root 2 on the number line. Okay, so this will take as O. This root 2 will consider it as A now. Okay, at this point we draw one perpendicular. At this point root 2 we draw in perpendicular. Over this mark an arc 1 unit, that means we have taken in centimeter only. So this also will take in centimeter. It is 1 centimeter. So 1 from the origin to root 2. That means this length OA is root 2. The length of OB is 1 centimeter. Okay. If we join OB, we are getting one right angled triangle. So that OB square equal to OA square plus AB square. Okay. What is OA square? OA is root 2 square. Root 2 square plus 1 square. It will become, this square and root will get cancelled. It will become 2. So 2 plus 1 become 3. Okay. So like this we can represent OB square is root 3 and OB is root 3. Okay. So in this way also we can represent the numbers. So likewise if we try for representing root 5 on the number line, we'll take point 2, that means 0, 1, 2. Okay, we'll consider this as point A. From here if we draw an arc and if we draw perpendicular at the point 2, that means here OA dash, if we consider OA dash is 2 centimeter. OA dash is 2 centimeter. Okay, so OA dash is 2 centimeter. At A dash, draw an arc of 1 centimeter. Okay, so draw an arc of 1 centimeter, so that if we join to the origin, what will happen? Now OA dash plus A dash, let me consider this point as C, so that in the triangle OA dash C, okay, so that OC square equal to OA dash square plus A dash C square. Okay, so OA dash square is nothing but 2 square plus A dash C square is 1 square, so that OC square equal to 2 square become 4 plus 1. So OC square is 5. If we take square root on both the side, okay, so that the square and root will get cancelled, so that OC equal to root 5. So like this also we can represent the irrational numbers on the number line. So we need to identify what point should be taken for this base, and this perpendicular, over this perpendicular always we can able to mark 1 centimeter, so that the combination will get root 5, root 3, like this also we can represent it on the number line. Okay, so if we take triangle OCA dash, okay, in this triangle OA dash is 2 centimeter from O to A dash. Okay, this distance is, okay, up to this distance is 2 centimeter. From A dash to C, this distance is 1 centimeter. So 2 square plus 1 square. Okay, 2 square become 4, 1 square become 1, and if we take square root on both sides, 4 plus 1 become 5. So OC is root 5. Okay, OC is root 5. So this length we have to take in compass. From the origin, if we draw that over the number line, it will come after 2. After the number line, after this point 2 only, this root 5 will come. Root 5 will occur after the point 2. Okay, like this we can represent root 5 on the number line. So in this fourth question, we can able to complete this square root spiral. How to complete this square root spiral? Okay, so for this we have to take a number line, mark point 0, the origin, and 1, 2, like this we can mark and keep. Okay, so at this point 1, we'll mark it as A. Here we need to draw a perpendicular. Over this perpendicular we have to mark an arc of 1 centimeter. You can mark it as B. Okay, so if we join, we are getting one right angled triangle. So this is 1 centimeter and AB also 1 centimeter. We can able to find OB what it is. So OB square equal to OA square plus AB square, that is nothing but 1 square plus 1 square. So OB square is 1 plus 1 become 2, and OB is, if we take square root on both the side, the square and root will get cancelled, so OB equal to root 2. Okay, so OB is root 2. Okay, so we can extend this line. From here we can draw an arc, from here one arc, from here one arc. If we draw, we can able to draw this perpendicular. Over this perpendicular we can mark an arc of 1 centimeter, so that this point if we join, this is root 2 square plus 1 square. Okay, this base is root 2. Here we are getting right angle triangle, so this is the hypotenuse. So hypotenuse square side square equal to root 2 square plus 1 square. Root 2 square become 2, so 2 plus 1 become 3. So this is root 3. From here we can extend this line, we can draw one perpendicular. Okay, we can draw one perpendicular. Over this we can mark an unit 1 centimeter. So that root 3 square plus 1 square become root 4. Okay, so this is root 4. Okay, so this each length we have to take, this root 2, this length of root 2 we have to take in the compass. Okay, so from the origin we have to mark it over the number line. So this is root 2. From the origin we have to take the length of this root 3, we have to represent it on the number line. So root 3 will come here. Okay, so root 4 exactly it will become 2. Next we can able to get root 5. So that root 5 will come like this. Okay, so this length we can take from the origin. If we draw over the number line, root 5 is possible to make. So like this, root 5, root 6, root 7 and the root 8, like this we can represent irrational numbers on the number line, and we can complete this square root spiral also. Okay, this will continue. Okay, so the point P1, we are getting the number length of 1 unit, 1 centimeter. Okay, next length of root 2, length of root 3, length of root 4, length of root 5, length of root 6. So if you see in this exact number line, root 1, the length of 1 and length of root 2 is increasing, length of root 3 is increasing. Okay, so the length will increase. So if we take root 17, root 18 and all, the length of each irrational numbers will go in increasing order. So try to complete this spiral, the square root spiral. Thank you.